A very good morning. So students, in last class we were discussing the case study based problem, as I have told you already in class that I will discuss case studies continuously in videos and also assertion reasoning questions. So first we will discuss the case study on electrostatic. After that we will discuss assertion reasoning problems here. So some of the questions on assertion and reason I have already discussed in some previous videos, so you can watch them. Now let's discuss the rest of the cases here. So as in previous video you have seen the case of electric potential. So just now in last video I have read already this case for you, and that's why you are aware of this case. Now let's see questions on this case we have, that is for the electric potential. So let's see now the first question. First question is given, which of the following is not true? So we have to find out which one is not true. So question first option is, for a point charge the electrostatic potential varies at 1 by r. So as you will see, if you have any point charge and due to this point charge at any point you have to calculate potential, then potential, you know, its value is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r. This is the value of potential, and you can see this v is inversely proportional to r from here. So it means our first option is completely correct. Now let's see the second option. Second option is, for a dipole the potential depends on position vector and dipole moment vector. So if you will calculate the potential for any of the dipole, then that time potential is depending on the dipole moment, as well as here if you will calculate, it is obtained as this one is, so this is depending on the dipole moment as well as this dipole moment vector. So you can see this one. Next one, the third, the electric dipole potential varies at as 1 by r at large distance. So if you will see the concept of the potential, just now I have written the formula. So that is the formula 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. We have, this is p cos theta. If cos theta I have taken in that case is equal to 1, and that is upon r square. So this is now the case here, that is, you can see the potential is varying for the case of electric potential. In the case of dipole, that is varying as the inverse of the distance square. So it means that this option is incorrect for us. Now the fourth one, for a point charge the electrostatic field varies as 1 by r square. So obviously you know, for the point charge potential is varying as 1 by r, and electric field that is varying as 1 by r square. So it means our this option is also correct. So if you will see now the question was, which of the following is not true? So it means that this one is not true because this one was false here. I think clear this one. Now let's see the next question. Next question is given, the variation of electrostatic potential V and the electrostatic field E with distance r from the point charge q is correctly shown by the graph. So as just now you know, for the point charge V is inversely proportional to r and E is directly inversely proportional to r square. So if you will use this relationship to plot the graph, then you will always get this one graph here for the electric field and potential both at the same time for the variation in distance. So this is now the answer for our question. This graph is correct. Now let's see students, now the next question. So here the next question, you can see, I think little blurred it, but I will read it and for you. So question we have, that is, what is the electric potential at the center C of the square? So a square we have to find out electrostatic potential. So as you know, electric potential is simple, that is a scalar quantity. So that scalar quantity's potential can be calculated also by the superposition principle, means potential due to 4 point charges at center. So as side is a, then the distance from all the charges to the center, that distance will be what? This distance, this one and this one, these all distances will be same. And suppose if that is r, so that will be equal to root 2a, because it is diagonal for such some of the this kind of triangle. So for that case, as we have knowledge about for the distance of charge and where we have to calculate potential. So due to all four charges you can calculate potentials. So v1, v2, v3 and v4, these all you can calculate. So if you will calculate these all, then due to one point charge, suppose this point charge we have to calculate potential at the C, then because of that one the potential will be obviously kq by r square, and r is what, that is root 2a, so it will be 2a square. Similarly for v2, if you will write, then here it is minus q charge, so minus kq upon root 2 times a square. Similarly the third one here plus q, and again the fourth one is minus q. So different charges we have. Now we can calculate the net. So net will be what, that will be the sum of four potentials that we have calculated. So let's write down the value of these four directly. I am writing. So as you can take first of all a upon 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 as common. Then v1 was what, v1 was here q by root 2a. Now minus of this one potential due to this will be q upon root 2a, then plus of this potential as it is plus q upon root 2a, and the last one you can see again it is minus, so it will be minus q upon root 2a. So these are now the cases, and here you can see students, these all are cancelled out by each other. Then finally we are getting the potential at the center, that is equal to 0. So this is very easy method to calculate the net potential that is at center. Now let's see the fourth question. Fourth one is n small metal drops of same size are charged to V volt each. If they are chosen to form a single large drop, then its potential will be. So if you will see here, we have n small metal drops that are you can say merging, and they are providing a big spherical you can say big drop. Then first of all you can calculate volume of the big drop. So what will be the volume of the big drop? Obviously that will be n times volume of one drop. So volume of that smaller drop, if suppose the bigger drop that we can make that has area r, and the smaller one has area small r, so n into we can write this is 4 by 3 pi r cube, and also this side you can keep r into 4 by 3 pi r cube. And if suppose capital R is the dimension for the question that is given to us, then in that case you can calculate what will be the value of r. So just now the formula we have written, we can calculate the value of r, and that is obtained as n power 2 by 3 into r from there. Now potential of a small drop, if we have to calculate very small drop we have to calculate potential. So this will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r for this one. Yes. Clear, I think. So next one, after this one students, as potential of a small drop that you can calculate by, so you can calculate also the potential of large drop. So to calculate the potential of large drop, we can write, suppose this is v dash, this will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 the charge on the bigger drop. So charge on bigger drop will be obviously n times the charge on the smaller drop, then it will be upon r. Now you can calculate it. If you will calculate, then in the place of capital R you can write n to the power 1 by 3 into r. So this will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 n, and this is now q. R is equal to, you can say this is n power 2 by 3 into small r. So this is the value that we have got, and finally if you will solve it, then its value is obtained as, after solution, v dash, this v dash will be equal to, v dash is equal to what, this is equal to n power 2 by 3 into v. So this is the answer for our question. Now you can search in the option which one is correct. So you can see the option D is correct here. Now question number 5, you will see the last question of this case study, that was a hollow conducting sphere is placed in an elastic field produced by a point charge placed at P as shown in the figure. So let VA, BC, VB be the potentials at point A, B, C respectively. Then the conditions we have to write here. So if you have to write the condition, then first of all you know potential at is same at every point of the conducting sphere, because potential cannot be different on the conductor. So that's why here we don't have to mention anything. But now if you will see for the question, then for the question options are given now as we have to find out the relationship between BA, BC, VC. Just now I am telling you potential at every point on the surface, that will be same. So if it will be same, then VA must be equal to VB, VB must be equal to VC. It means that VA will be equal to VC here. So our option D is correct for this question. Next case is for the Faraday case. So you can see now a case that is given here. So case is what here? First let's see our next here case study based problem. Faraday case or Faraday shield is an enclosure made of conducting material. So the field within a conductor cancel out any external field, so the electric field within the enclosure is zero. So these Faraday keys act as big hollow conductors. You can put things into shield them from electric field. So any electrical shock that keys receive pass harmlessly around the outside of the keys. So this is now the example of conductor. You know you have number of conductors, or we have the properties of conductor. Inside the conductor electric field is zero, all the charges if the conductor is hollow, electric field is zero, all the charges resides at the surface of conductor, no of the charge can be present inside. So if we are putting any instrument inside such kind of any cave or any you can say case, then that time that will be safe from the lightning, safe from the electricity impact. So this is now called Faraday case here. And this question was in the sample last sample paper that is issued by the CBSE in year 2020-21 session. So you can see now also it is given here. So let's discuss now this case. The first question of this case is, which of the following material that can be used to make a Faraday case? So in this material you can see now first is plastic, second is glass, third is wood, the fourth is copper. So as you know Faraday case is the property of conductor, it means the material should be conducting. So in whole of the four option you can see only the conducting material is copper, all other materials that are non-conducting material, insulator material. So in insulator material there cannot be make the here Faraday case. So obviously this option will be correct from here. Now next question is example of real world Faraday case is. So in real world the Faraday case, if you will see if you are options are given car, plastic box, lightning rod, metal rod. So rod, as it is not in the shape of any kind of case, lightning rod is also not, this is only to give the proper earthing here. This both are not possible. Plastic is already insulator, so this is not possible. If you will see car, so that is made from the metallic body, that is made from the conductor, and also it is hollow, so it is perfectly behaving like the Faraday case. So this is now the real world example of Faraday case. Now next question is, what is the electrical force inside a Faraday case when it is struck by lightning? So here if inside you will see the electrical force here, that inside the Faraday case, if you have to calculate in this case, then obviously you know the Faraday case, that is the example of where electricity is zero. So if electricity is zero in the case of Faraday here, that will be obviously equal to, should be obviously zero here, because inside if there will be some of the force, then it means there are some charges, and whenever there will be charge, then no electric field will be there, and that will not be the concept of Faraday case. So that's why this option should be correct here. Now the next question you will see, that is an isolated point charge plus Q is placed inside the Faraday case. So its surface must have charge equal to. So if isolated point charge, it is written that is plus q, that is placed inside a Faraday here case, then a surface must have. So obviously you know that the Faraday case has the property, it all the charges that will put inside, that will reside on the surface, automatically they will move towards the surface. It means that surface will contain that all charge that is placed to the isolated conductor. So this will be the option B will be correct. All plus q charge will be equal to surface charge. Now next question you will see, that is a point charge of 2 microcoulomb is placed at center of Faraday case in the sphere of shape of cube with surface of 9 centimeter ace. So the number of electric field lines that are passing through the cube normally will be. So in this case, as you know, the flux that is called number of field lines that is passing through the cube normally. So that we have to find out here simple flux, and that is equal to, you know, q by epsilon 0. So q, its value is given 2 microcoulomb, so you can write its value 2 into 10 power minus 6, and epsilon naught, its value is obviously 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. So if you will write these value and you will solve, so its answer will comes out to be 2.26 into 10 to the power 5 Newton meter square per coulomb. So if you will see the option, then this third option here, though two options are given. Now if you will see the direction here, so whenever it is saying field lines that are passing through, so obviously they will leaving the surface, not entering the surface. So this is, I think, clear to you. How can we understand this particular case? Now students, let's see the next case. So next case study that we have, that is for the capacitor. So capacitor, you can see now the case is given, an arrangement of two conductors separated by an insulating medium can be used to store electric charge and electric energy. So such a system is called a capacitor. So the more charge on capacitor can store, the greater its capacitance. Initially, a capacitor consists of two conductors having equal and opposite charges, plus q and minus q. Hence, there is a potential difference V between them. By the capacitance of capacitor, we mean the ratio of the charge q to the potential V. By the charge on a capacitor, we mean only the charge q on the positive plate. So here total charge on the capacitor is 0 whenever, as you can see simple, on the capacitor we have two plates. On one plate here the positive charge, and one plate it has the negative charge. So that's why that will be obviously the net charge you will calculate, then that will be 0 here in this whole case. Next one, students, after this line, the capacitance of capacitor is a constant and depends on geometric factors such as the shape, size and relative positions of two conductors and the nature of medium between them. So the unit of capacitance is farad, but more convenient unit is microfarad or and picofarad. Reason, you know, because 1 farad capacitor is very large. If you have to make 1 farad capacitor capacitance capacitor, then its size will be near about 10 power 6 times or size of the earth. So that is not possible to make. That's why capacitors that have very small units, microfarad or picofarad. So the commonly used capacitor consists of a two long strips or metal poles separated by two long strips of dielectric rolled up into a small cylinder. Common dielectric material are plastic, polyester, polycarbonates and aluminium oxide. So capacitors are widely used in television, computer and other electrical circuit. So this is basic information about the capacitor. Here students, you will see whatever the case study we have discussed, that was very basic topic, and that is covering a very basic things that even you have to know, you are forgetting a number of times. So these are very useful also whenever you are practicing, you are just seeing the basics here. So let's see now the questions of this one also one by one. So first question, if you will see, that is a parallel plate capacitor C had charge Q. The actual charge on its plates are, So if any of the plate that is saying its capacitor has some charge, so obviously the capacitor that is containing the charge, that is the charge of positive plate. So it means that both of the plates that will have q charge, but one plate will have q charge, second one will have opposite polarity minus q. So it means our third option will be correct in this case. Now second, here you will see a parallel plate capacitor is charged. If the plates are pulled apart, then capacitance increases, potential difference increases, through charge increases, the charge and potential difference remains the same. So here in this case, if, as you know, capacitor is what, that is equal to or the potential is what, that is equal to E into D from here. So as it is given now, two of the capacitor that is pulled apart. So if you will increase the distance, then it means that the potential difference that will start to increase. So our second option is correct here. This option, why it will not be correct? So for the parallel plate capacitor, capacity is given by epsilon 0 A by D. So from here, as capacity is inversely proportional to B, if D will increase, then capacitance will decrease, not increase. Total charge that will also, as capacity is decreasing, then total charge will also that will be same. And charge and potential difference, if you will calculate, then that will be that will not be same also. So it means our only second option is correct in this case. Now let's see the third one. So if it is given, if a small n capacitors each of capacitance C are connected in series, then the equivalent capacitance of the combinations will be. So as it is given n capacitors that has each has capacitance C and they are connecting in series. So if you will connect the capacitors in series, it means that the equivalent capacity will be by the formula 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus and so on n times. And it is given all the capacitors are C, it means 1 by C plus 1 by C, that is n times. So it means the equivalent capacity, suppose C dash it is. So C dash will be obviously equal to C by n, because it will be equal to n by C from here. So you can see our value for this capacitance in series, it will be C by n. Now let's see the fourth one question. So fourth question is three capacitors of 2 farad, 3 farad and 6 microfarad, sorry not 2 microfarad, 3 microfarad and 6 microfarads are connected in series to a 10 volt source. The charge on the 3 microfarad capacitor. So students, in this case, as we have 3 capacitors, suppose now this is these are 3 capacitors that are connecting in series, and also that is connected to a 10 volt source. So this is 10 volt source, and this is 2, this is 3, this is 6, and we have to find out what will be the value of charge on the 3 microfarad. So to find out this one, first we need to find out equivalent capacitance. So by the formula, you know, the equivalent capacitance is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. And if you will take here 6 as the LCM, then that is value will equal to 1. So it means that it is implying C is equal to 1. So equivalent capacity is 1. So we can find out now the charge on the capacitors. So there the charge will be obviously, you know, Q is equal to C into V. So it means that as V is given here 10 volt, C is 1 microfarad. So this will be 10 into 10 microfarad, that is 10 to the power minus 6, you can multiply. So whole of the value of charge that is applied as 1 microcoulomb also you can write. 1 into 10 into I think, sorry, not 10 microcoulomb should be here, because it is C into V. So C has 1 microfarad, V has 10 volts, so it will be 10 microcoulomb. Now as in series, you know, one property is here, all the capacitors that are carrying same charges. So this charge that is carried by the equivalent, it will be also carried by all the charge capacitors. So 3 farad, 2 farad, 3 microfarad, 2 microfarad and 6 microfarad, all capacitors will have same charge. So it means that it will be equal to 10 microcoulomb. This is our reading now. Now next question you will see that is, what is the potential difference across 2 microfarad capacitors in the circuit zone. So here let's calculate the potential. First one, for that one let's solve this circuit. So if you will solve this circuit, then first you can calculate what will be the equivalent potential that is applied here. So E net, that is equal to 16 minus 6, because they are of certain polarity, they will start to repel each other. So the net polarity, net potential that is applied on the circuit, it is equal to 10 volt. Now net capacity you can find out. So net capacity will be equal to these both are in series, so it means that this capacity is 2 into 3 upon 2 plus 3, that is 5. So it will be equal to 6 by 5 microfarad. Now as we have to find out the potential across two microfarad capacitor, so potential is equal to now charge in upon capacitance. So first, as we have potential, we have this one, we can find out the charge here. So let's find out charge first. So the value of charge, that will be equal to C equivalent into epsilon net. So if you will put the value of C equivalent and epsilon net, its value is obtained as 10 microcoulomb. And now we can find out the potential across 2 microfarad capacitor. So that will be Q by C1. So Q is 12 microfarad and C1 is 2 microfarad. So this is microcoulomb, microfarad, micro will be cancelled out, it will be obtained as 6 volt. So this is answer of our question. Now you can see this answer is correct. So students, I think today what we have discussed, that is all clear. So let's end our class here with this discussion. Thank you students. Here I think now you are able to solve a lot of case study. So let's end our class here with this one. Thank you.